Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where today we are going to be checking back in here at Mar Narfa before looking for the rest of our crew. Hello there.
Spare a moment for me.
That ought to raise the reputation of Mar Nafra. The fewer these filthy creatures roaming around the vicinity, the better. Of course, a reward for honest work. Oh yes, that is for taking care of those lurkers. Now, I believe there was... Is this where we had somebody in the back? No, I'm always confusing the locations of everybody. And of course, occasionally I have to sort my way through troublemakers. Ah, there's somebody right over there. Try as you might, you cannot find Coulthert anywhere. Whatever happened to her? Coulthert Glintgren seems to have vanished from Mar Narfa. You may have your suspicions about what you discovered, but it seems your questions will never be put to the rest. Oh well. You mean, how did her skull get into that chest? Absolutely no idea.
Do you have need of something?
Oh, I thought I'd never get my supplies back, thanks to you. Now I can continue with my trade. You're welcome. Okay, good. So we've taken care of the lurkers. We're taking care of a couple of troublemakers. We've had a very, very puzzling incident relating to someone with a golden tooth. And what did I miss? Somebody up there? Well, I'll have to see about that at some point. Now, I believe I have one more thing to do. Javish. Is that Javish that's up there? Yeah, that... Oh, yes. He is up there. Oh, yes. Up this little walkway. Right? Hi.
Need you something from me?
Well, I should have seen that coming. Oh, could never trust a Corsair, eh? Anyways, I reckon that we have no choice but to nip this in the bud. There's a reward in it for ya. Pay Katnai Mara to visit and his care. Take care of them before they can cause any more trouble in Mar Nafra, will ya? Okay, so defeat Corsairs in Kataj Marsa. Okay, so that's what was happening then. We were supposed to have negotiations with some Corsairs in one of the camps. They decided to attack us instead. Well then, we'll just have to take care of them. Wait a moment. Is that a goblin pirate? A goblin pirate cutthroat. No, 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 no. You're not airing me. Well, now. Let's see if we can find Legolas and Gimli anywhere. I thought that Kataj Marsa was a little encampment, but it looks like that's not the case. It's an entire settlement. Well, we will have to deal with that. Actually, let's see if I could reason with them. I'm gonna say that's a no. Definitely not. So we'll deal with these, and I hope that'll help to resolve the dispute, shall we say. So we have two communities of Corsairs warring with each other or something like that. Well, that's what it feels like. Not... Hold on. I think I noticed something moving around in there. Maybe I was just imagining things. Oh, oh, well, that's where. Well, two can play at that game, right? Okay, okay. That was a bit much. I could do without the Arbalaster shooting bolts in my side. Hey, you. Yes, you. Maybe you should have looked the other way. Now, let's see. Just take out 2 more of these, and I think that should be a nice little message for them. That was the strangest path I've ever seen. And there have been a lot of strange paths in this game. There you go. Message delivered. Oh, apparently somebody didn't get the message. Well, I'll repeat it, just for emphasis. I finally made it to the big island. A woman in a gray cloak wiped her blade against the fur of a slain Sakbir. You see, it is one thing to fight a person, either on a killing field or in a duel. It's another thing entirely to fight a beast that is twice as large as you, 3 times as heavy, and cares not for how good your form is. You can't intimidate it with fancy blade work, nor trick it, not unless you possess some sorcery of which I am unaware. A woman in tattered armor and threadbare boots shakes her head. Just me and my blade, no special tricks here. Greycloak inclines her head towards a particularly nasty-looking creature. I believe that is the strongest of them here. Do you think you can take it down? Threadbare Boots grins and slashes through the air a few times, warming her wrist. After watching you, I think I know just what to do. Alright. So, Greycloak and Threadbare once again. So apparently, we've got toads here. We've got these things, Sekbeer I think they're called, or something like this. Or whatever they're called. Let's see if we can. Oh, Stalky! Some are being tricksy. Well, we may have to come through here later in any case. So this is supposed to be the largest of the islands, and I haven't found Legolas and Gimli yet, so perhaps they're down here somewhere. Oops. Now supposedly I think the big brute is supposed to be here. Something like that. Looks like the place where a big one will be. Just a long line of these. That's the big one right up there, right? Well, let's see what it thinks about my technique. Not that it cares, as it has already been established. But if my technique knocks it out for a moment, I can get myself an advantage and then poke it with holes. Well, this thing's tough. There you go. Completed the King of the Sekbiri. Now, Legolas and Gimli. Ah, there's our dwarf now. Hello there.
I have not seen islands like these before.
These islands are very different than the lands with which I'm familiar. By Durin's beard, Am I to believe that the folk who live here are used to the heat and the damp, and would find their lack in the northern uncomfortable even as I am unaccustomed to it? That is a wonder to me. Leglos and I departed the wreck of the Wave Hunter not to see the sights, of course, but to hunt for game animals of the Shield Isles. The elf is still out hunting. He should be back before too long. When we have found enough meat to bring back, we will both return to the ship. Would you like to help us in our hunt? Of course you would. Collect meat from beasts of the Shield Isles. Alright, and these things count as beasts, believe it or not. Also, so let us start a little hunt here because there is plenty of hunting here. Do these count for more than one? I mean, I could just imagine if you get the same amount of meat out of one of these things as you would out of a lynx or something like. Not that I've seen any lynx in this area. Maybe not lynx territory. We'll find out what kind of creatures we have around here. Maybe is this place filled with these? Alright. Now, these Sikbiri, are they... They're obviously related to the hill beasts that we run into up in north. So I guess these aren't really all that strange because we've been running into hill beasts and things like that for a long... I guess these are island beasts then instead of hill beasts. Beach beasts. Hill beasts. Island beasts. Bay beasts. That's it. We'll go with bay beasts since we get the alliteration for that one. It appears that while I was out hunting, Leglos has returned. Hello, I hope this is enough.
Ah, you did very well, my friend.
I will add the meat that you gather to that which I collected, and when we return, the crew will be very pleased. How did Legolas fare in his hunt? He kept his attention upon the trees, seeking for birds to bring down with his bow skill and his elf arrows. He'll be very embarrassed if we bring back more meat than he does. If that is so, we can say that we all shared equally in the task. But you and I know the truth of it, Pineleaf.
Can I ask you to retrieve the birds and the arrows with which I filled them?
Gimli's jesting is at an end, Pineleaf, for I did bring down a number of birds to earth. Once we find where they fell, the dwarf will see that there will be plenty of meat for all the crew of the Wave Hunter. Can I ask you to retrieve the birds and the arrows with which I felled them? You will find them along the route that I took back here, to the southwest. Each bird took but a single arrow, my friend. My aim remains true, even amongst the trees of the islands, and from such a distance as necessary required that I shoot. We will see you back in the Wave Hunter when you have done this. Alright, fine. Then, let's go in. I guess supplement the coffers a little bit as I go along because these Seekbeaters seem to still be around in quite a bit of numbers. There we go. Well, I don't want to depopulate the entire area. That would be a bit of a problem if I did that. Ah. Oh. I think I found a bird. Yep, that is a felled bird and an arrow. Okay, next. Ah. I see another bird. Okay, that is 2 birds. And I see a crab. Maybe a little seafood on top of it. I guess the crabs live on any place in the bay. And it looks like we're not free of salamanders in this location. Oh well. I suppose it was too much to hope that they would be gone from this land. Oh, another salamander too. And then we can take care of the bird. The bird doesn't look like it's in any state to fly away at the moment. So, bird number 4. Now, where's the last bird? I think along this... Ah, yes, there it is. Well, I suppose I should have expected to see more of these lizards about. Okay, I could bring these back to voyages. Hold on. Is that another settlement? Now, is that a Corsair settlement? Actually, this is the largest island. Then maybe that's Howrax? Well, I guess we're going to have to go and find out. Assuming that the crabs will let us. I think some crab meat is going to go well with the rest of the food. Ah, this looks like Howrax.
There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it.
You there! Oh, with the spear. Oh, right. Where is that a sword? Oh, whatever it is. Anyway, you look tough. This is the first test on that. Because it looks like we've got this Sekbeard that decides to test whether or not I am tough. Okay, yes, okay, what is that again? Yes, some of the Sekbiri from the Nords strayed close to the gate last week. You mean like the one that almost ambushed me there? Yes, thankfully no one got hurt. Well, except for Itho, and nobody likes him anyway. The town's promised some funds to the person. Yes, I'm sure he said person, not idiot. Who's willing to call down their numbers. Defeat Sekbiri. Oh, now I get that quest. Oh well, at least I know where to find them. So, we will deal with that when we get a chance. You have discovered Horrocks. Right. Ah, where Jackson Dax grew up, right? Hello?
Need you something from me?
Newcomers need to speak with Ithurga. If you're not willing to make that effort, then you'd best consider shoving off to another port on the Shield Isle, stranger. You'll find Ithurga outside his home on the top of the hill. Alright, well, so apparently he's in charge of here, and no one will talk to me unless I talk to Ithurga first. At least they're not attacking me. And they even have their own warden trainer, it looks like. Alright. Is he going to say the same thing?
Might you spare a moment?
As you approach the man, you notice that he's seized with wrath so smoldering it would even make the most hot-headed runekeeper blush. Ah, how could this be? I could have sworn I was wearing it when we left the beach. Could I have left it there somehow? Oh, adventurer! Could I ask something of you? I was at Bakatug with my dear Zimar this morning. There he presented me with a beautiful necklace. I can't find it now, and I'm terrified that I may have somehow left it on the beach. I'm to meet him at the tavern tonight. He can't know that I lost it. Oh, could you find it for me? Oh, what does it look like? It's a gemstone. The gemstone is blue, like the eyes, and cut like his eyes, and cut sharp like his clever wit. In the sun, it shines as bright as he smiles. Also, is on a sort of brown leather cord. Metal necklace chains irritated my skin. I can feel for you on that one. Alright, well now. what do we need to do? Oh, this looks like Ithurga. Well, since I need to speak with them, I guess I'll do that now.
Everything is negotiable, my friend.
It's good that you came to see me, stranger. As you learned, my name is Ithurga. I oversee Haurox. I maintain its operations and its people's safety. I am sure you understand that strange faces make people wary. Yeah, I guess that's especially ones who are like have to hide from everybody else. They become warier when they see idle hands belonging to those faces. If you want to be welcome here, do your part and show the locals that you mean well. Understand? Got it.
Everything is negotiable, my friend.
Good. I'm grateful for the understanding. Oh, respect amongst the citizens of Haurox is earned and lost through deed and effort. Some folks test my resolve by eschewing their tithes and letting their debt grow too long. If you want to prove your value to Haurox, see that these debts are collected. Yes? Alright, so I need to start my life here as a debt collector. Wonderful. I'm sure that's going to get me a great, beautiful reputation in this place. I mean, everyone loves a debt collector, right? Hello, I come to collect debts.
What do you want?
Ithurga has come enough to sending a fresh-faced arrival like you to collect my debt. This place is supposed to be about respect and decency, and he treats me like this? No offense, stranger, but this doesn't end well for you. Are you sure about this? Are you sure? Is she sure? Okay, there you go. As you wish. You can give up at any point now. Ouch. And she's not giving up. Oh well. Fine. Oh, okay. You decided to pay up. Alright, good. Where was I? I think those other debts can wait until I came back to the voyage's end to deliver the birds.
Thank you for these. Our crew will eat well.
They'll eat well for as long as they remain here amongst the Shield Isles, and that eases my mind. I'm sure that it eases yours as well. I should tell you something I observed while I was on the hunt. I felled a number of birds I saw winging along the trees of Zemarzir, the southern island, but there was one target that I could not bring myself to down. It was a mighty creature, and though I saw it from a great distance, it appeared to me of tremendous size. It brought to my mind the great eagle Gwaihir and his brother Landreval. I didn't release my arrow. Whatever the creature may have been, something told me not to harm it. I don't know if I would give us the same treatment, Pineleaf. Oh yes, and walk carefully if you tread again in Zanzibar, just in case. Well, no one in Zanzibar has told me yet anything about giant birds, but I just got the Haurox for briefly, so who knows? I mean, they were unwilling to talk to me until I finished collecting these debts anyway.
The crew of the Wave Hunter will have food to eat tonight, thanks to the three of us.
Did Legolas tell you about the great bird that he witnessed from afar? I told him that it's probably not one of the great eagles, because while the flight for one such as Gwaihir or Landreval will not be as long a journey as it is for us, what reason would they have to make this journey? No, it must be something else. I say he should have filled it with arrows, because anything as large as he describes likely feasts upon anything smaller, and we surely qualify. I hope that in this case I'm wrong, and Legolas will not regret his choice to spare the creature. But if it was up to me, I wouldn't have hesitated. The Longbeards have little patience or mercy for monsters, and such a giant bird sounds like a monster to me until it proves it and a friend, as the eagles have done. I say, remain wary, Pine Leaf. All right, I will. Ooh, a pristine, bright Umbari Aegis, as opposed to a regular bright Umbari Aegis. Okay, well, it's an upgrade. There we go. Now, let's see what our scribe has to say.
Many members of the crew have returned to the Wave Hunter.
And I know that we have you to thank for their return. And did their scouting turn up anything useful to us? I suppose that might be one way to complete the mission. Get one of those bounty hunters to slay the folk responsible for capturing Thorongil and Koradon, and mount a rescue mission during the ensuing chaos. What were the names of those targets? Azagoth the Sea Sarrow, Bellandor the Fleet Fast, and Hamelak the Golden Hand? They sound, lovely. Oh, lovely, you say. What? Siragon? Let's see. I thought I heard Siragon. Oh! Oh, there you are.
I am sorry to interrupt.
I overheard you speaking with Kabar, and I thought that I heard the boy speak a name that, well, a name that I've not heard in many years. Did you speak the name Belondor, or have I misheard you? Yes, Belondor of the Fleet Fast, who was listed amongst those bounties. I see. It couldn't be, and yet, perhaps, it could? Yeah, what?
Let us not speak of it here.
Meet me to the west of here, Pine Leaf. It may be that I'm worried for nothing, and it is not the same man, but my heart says that it must be. All right. Meet you to the west so we could discuss this in private. All right. Ah, here he is. Siragon stands on the rocky outcropping, staring out into the water.
Thank you for indulging me in this.
I owe you so much for allowing me to join the crew of the Wave Hunter and come with you on this voyage. I would follow you to the very ends of the earth. No, that I would, and never complain or say a cross word. I've always done my duty as I saw it, first for the steward of Gondor, and then for the King Elessar, and now for you, as the leader of this mission. So I will not still my tongue now, and will tell you the source of my fear. May it prove to be without any base. The name spoken by the young scribe, Belondor. I knew a Belondor when I was a young man. He was born in Anfalas, and we grew up along the Langstrand, and we both served at the command of the steward Denethor. Belondor and I were well nigh inseparable, and together we sailed the very bay of Belfalas and up the coast of Gondor to more distant shores. He was at my wedding, by the Valar, and gave the toast before all the gathered company. Helebros had me keep the stuffed birds that he gave us for the wedding gift in my hall as a keepsake, even when later events made their reminder a painful one. We rose in estimation of the steward, even as I made master of the fleets of Gondor. Belondor was named Warden of the Firth, and worked faithfully to keep the city of Umbar under guard, its pirates quelled and under control. He was an emphatic guardian of the city, fair and just to the Umbari people, and they loved him, but his love proved to have a cost. Ooh, interesting, then. I mean, a Gondorian overlord that is liked by the people of Umbar is probably pretty rare. Pretty rare indeed, I would think, considering what I hear sometimes. I mean, look what the Kindred of the Coin are planning.
Over time, the steward Denethor came to distrust Belondor.
The steward Denethor came to believe that Belundor cared more for the people of Umbar than he did for his native Gondor, and he trusted the man that he had named Warden of the Firth. He believed Belundor had fallen under the sway of the Church of the All-Seeing, a religion that had at the time a small, though growing presence in the city of Umbar. This was impossible to believe, and even today I don't believe it. But the steward had other reasons to distrust Belundor. My old friend had fallen in love with an Umbari noblewoman named Meshka. I don't know how the steward came to learn of this, but the rumors eventually came even to the White City. There must have been spies aboard one or more of Belundor's ships and lurking in the court of Meshka's home, but I can't say for certain. When paired with Belundor's recent missives, which counseled mercy and fairness for the Umbari people, no wonder he was loved by the people there, these whispers painted a clear picture of betrayal that the steward of Gondor could not disbelieve. In other words, Denethor was paranoid. And that is a surprise for what reason? He commanded the master of his navy to pursue the traitor Belundor, relieve him of his duties, and bring him back to Gondor. I couldn't refuse the command, Pineleaf. Okay. Yeah. You had a great many doubts on that one. Denethor and his paranoia, always causing trouble.
I am not a man for whom deceit comes easily.
I could not think my old friend a traitor without good cause. On any other day, a call to dinner at my manor house would have been the signal for a time of merriment and joyful reunion. But on this day it was a lure. Belundor answered the summons, for he had no reason to suspect the orders given to me by the steward Denethor. Over dinner I asked him where lay his loyalties, and his answer did not dispel my worries. "They lie with Umbar Baharbel, the city of sails, my old friend," he said to me. "They lie with my Meshka, to whom I am betrothed, and only then do they lie with Gondor. Can a man not serve 3 loves equally in his heart, if he is wise and fair?" The steward Denethor does not think so, I told him, and our raised voices would have proven to me that our friendship was at an end, even if the drawn swords had not followed. Each of us sustained injuries in that duel, and Belundor fled through the shadowed streets of Pelargir to where his ship lay moored. For 3 days I pursued him in my own vessel across the tumultuous bay, when at last he dared draw too near to the grinding jaws. Amongst the rocks of Shadakhin his ship perished. Some of his crew were rescued, but of Belundor there was no sign, and I believe him drowned, lost at sea. The steward Denethor praised me for the pursuit, but I mourned lost Belundor, and cursed the duty that made me drive my friend to his death, and I cursed it silently, for still I served the steward. And I guess we get the leather jacket for that.
The Belundor that belongs now to the kindred may not be the same man, but in my heart I know he must be.
Did Belundor survive the wreck of his ship during my pursuit, and come to make his desperate living upon the wild Shield Isles? Did he not hold hatred for Gondor in his heart before that night, whatever the steward may have believed? But afterwards? No, no man could do otherwise. I cannot know by what paths he returned to Umbar, but when he did, it seemed that he found others who shared his mind. Did he rise to the ranks of the kindred, or perhaps he was there at his founding? Now at least, he holds a position with enough standing to warrant one of Scalafel's bounties. I was so pleased to sail again, Pineleaf. I just consigned these feelings of guilt to the past, and let the passing of the years dull their pain. But if Belundor did not drown that night, if he now leads the kindred of the coins that hold the Rangil and your elf friend captive, I fear that the history between us may put both of our lives in greater danger than we believed, and all because I thought I missed the sea. But I earned my own share of guilt upon the water, Pineleaf. I had thought it gone, but it is never truly gone, is it? Our mission is to rescue Thorongil and Corridon, no matter what it does. Yes, it must be so. But you must tell the Lady Noriel that I have told you. If her son may be further endangered by this account, she deserves to know it. Noriel. What will Noriel think about this? And what will we do afterwards? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Song of Waves and Wind.